Hello everybody, welcome to GTPlanet and welcome to another episode of one of our tuning videos that we're going to be doing here, showcasing some of the fantastic setups and tuning settings that you can get from our forums here on GTPlanet. I'm your host Chaz Draycott and I'm delighted to be back on your screens once again with another great video. I'm really looking forward to this one. Today we're going to be taking on a specific race yet again. As you would have seen last time, we took on the race at Tokyo Expressway in the Mitsubishi Evo 3 GSR and it was a lot of fun, but I didn't really provide a lot of context beforehand to that video. So what I want to do is show you the race that we're going to be doing today. You go over to Europe and you can see here Spa Francorchamps. As part of the whole cafe menu and going through all the menus and so on and getting through almost like the career single player aspect of this game, you go through a number of these different championships. I did the Porsche Cup and I really enjoyed this event actually, but as you'll see here, I only finished in third place. It wasn't a fantastic run by me. I've got a 996 GT3 in the garage somewhere that was not fantastic, but the performance points, as you can see up there, are 650 at the most. Now that's a very important thing here in Gran Turismo because it makes sure that all the races are fair and that the cars aren't completely ridiculous and exceed a massive amount of those performance points to make it very easy for us. So what our tuners do here on the forums is basically give you a blanket sort of format for a car to be just at the limit of what those performance points are so you can succeed in a race and go and enjoy it for yourselves. They put a lot of time and effort into these things, so what we're going to do today is find ourselves a Porsche and we're going to go and complete that race and win the thing. First though, we're going to go back to my garage and we're going to look at the car that we're going to be using today. You'll see down here I've got this 911 GT3, which is the 996. We're not going to be touching that one with a barge pole today. There's also another Porsche that I have in the list. There's the Evo from the previous video. The gorgeous 993 Carrera RS from 1995. But we're going to be going even older than that with the Porsche that we're using today because we're going to go down to the 911 Carrera S 964 from 1992. It is a looker. Look at it and listen to it. Eventually. It's got that old sort of, yes, that old low revving sounding flat six from Porsche. Fantastic machine. So that's going to be the car that we're going to be using for today's setup and of course for today's race. First off though, I want to jump into the race itself and take it on as the car is, just to give you an idea of how it performs and how I perform behind the wheel of this thing, and just show you how much we have to work with really. So let's jump in then to the Porsche Cup. It's going to be 5 laps here with 16 cars on the grid, and there's a number of fantastic machines here. There's another 964 there which has the rear wing on it. There's some of the old 911 Turbo 930s as well which look really cool, and as you'll see it's literally just 650 or less in terms of the performance points. There's no specific tyres or anything that you have to use. It's just a case of as long as it's under that performance points limit, then you're absolutely fine. Let's jump in, shall we? Oh, there's going to be a lot of fantastic noises coming from this event, I can tell you that for free. I'm using the Thrustmaster TGT2 wheel for this yet again, which Thrustmaster gave us a long time ago. I'm actually going to go for the onboard camera to begin with. See what it's like on the brake, shall we? This is my first time driving this car in these conditions, and it's actually wet as well, so it's slippery out there. We'll get the weather radar on. As you can see, looks like the rain is going to stay consistent throughout this race. There's a yellow flag. There's already a car off up there. I'm going to take it easy down here, just in case the car goes skating away from me. No, seems fine. I'm going to be very hesitant to begin with. The 911 Turbo in front of us will probably have the legs on us down the straight. Can't remember how to turn my lights on. You can see as well in the bottom left corner of the screen there, it shows you how wet the surface is underneath the tyre at that exact moment in time. That's a key thing to keep an eye on in these sorts of races, as Carrera RS makes a mistake in front of us there. Well, it feels good actually at the moment. I've got the force feedback turned quite far down compared to how I used to have it when I first got this wheel. It feels good at the moment. Grips in nicely through there. Ooh, a bit of oversteer there. Over 100 miles an hour in third gear as well. It's impressive. That's the one thing I would say actually, after spending time on Gran Turismo 7, away from obviously the video we're doing now, I just don't get the sense of speed in Gran Turismo. That's why it always feels like the cars understeer like crazy everywhere, because you just don't feel like you're going as fast. It says we're doing 60 mile an hour right now. Looks like we're doing about 30. That's something you have to be careful with. Listen to that. Good noises. And one thing to be cautious of is the fact that the AI aren't rapid. It's getting wetter and wetter on the surface though. You can see that graph has gone up slightly. Oh, there's a sudden downpour there. The weather's just got heavier. Adds an extra element to the race, I suppose. Down the inside through Blanchimont. Am I that stupid? Seems so. We're just on sports hard tyres for the time being. The sports tyres are pretty good in the wet, to be fair. They do deflect a lot of the water out of the way. They're not a racing slick. Looks like the rain's going to stop, actually. It's just gone by on the weather radar. I've just zoomed the weather radar out a little bit, and it looks like it's going to be dry now, which is nice. It's got enough power to just light up the rears that little bit on exit, but as you can see here, it's not got massive legs on it, has it? A bit more confident going down here now. Ooh, sideways. Just had to get that first lap out of the way, because when you've not driven a car before, it's hard to know how it's going to behave itself. That was a combination of the word behave and perform, if you were wondering. It's very fast in a straight line, 140 mile an hour. That's nearly as fast as a GT3 car down there, down the Kemmel Straight. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm confident to push it a little bit more, put a bit more lock on. Look, get the back end out slightly. Oh, hello. It's like being back in the daily races. Handles very, very well though, must admit. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to. It excites me even more to see what it's like when we put the setup on it, put the tune on it. Oh, big understeer there though. Maybe getting a little bit too overconfident with it. It's easy to do that. Oh, look at the colour of that 964 there. That's awesome, isn't it? Around the outside. Now the AI are on the hardest difficulty that you can have them on here. They're not the most difficult AI to race against though. They're usually very respectful though, and they give a lot of room, which is nice. It seems like even with a sort of lower performance points car than them, we've got a belter in this Carrera RS. Well, we've gone for first gear there, which probably wasn't necessary. Up to 6th place, but still 36 seconds off the leader. Karatsa leads the way ahead of Blajan and then Sugawara. Quite a decent prize pot for this as well, 86,000. And for driving some Porsches around Spa Francorchamps, I don't think that's a bad prize pot at all, do you? Now, I haven't done anything to this car before this race. This is as I got it. I don't even think I put the sports hard tyres on it either. I don't think I've touched this car since I owned it. Actually, you can tell because it's done 9 miles, which is the length of this race so far. And we've both gone a bit deep there. It's an interesting rear wing. Through Malmedy, get the run, tap the brakes. I know it may only be an AI, but I like racing them as if they are real people. I don't want to disrespect them and just force them out of the way. Thank you. Oh, a little bit of a kiss on the way through. Sorry. Weather radar looks promising. There's a... Oh God, look where you're going, Chaz. I was going to say the radar... The radar? I was going to say the weather radar looks promising, but it seems like there's another bout of wet weather that could maybe come and get us before the race is done. The circuit is apparently bone dry, but it's cold now. It's gone gloomy and dark. Could spice it up in the later stages, but I think we'll be alright. It feels really good, you know, through Blanchimont. This car is excellent. You don't have to put all the lock in the world on either to get it to actually behave itself and turn in. Let's just stay with second gear here. Bit of understeer there at slow speed, but that's alright. We might get away with this weather. We've cleared off from the cars behind us, but if you look at Karatsa at the front, he's now 49 seconds ahead, and that gap is growing. So while we may be quicker than most of the cars behind us in this machine, we need some serious bit of kit to get with Mr. Karatsa at the front. Oh, it's nice up there. Floats its way through Eau Rouge and Raidillon. Look at the speed. Up from 4th gear to 5th gear at 130 miles an hour, and then hard on the brakes before the 100 metre board. Bit of curb, this way then that way. You can see the weather making its way across on that weather radar now. I know I keep going on about it, but it could affect the race heavily towards the end. I like this car as it is, you know, I don't want to touch it. Now, I believe that I obtained this car either through another championship that I did or through a roulette ticket. I think it's through another championship. I think you get it as part of a collection for Porsche 911s in one of the menu books. Oh, hello. Oh, dearie me. Just clipped that curb there. Overdid it slightly. Sorry, but I wanted to try and find this car to buy it, forgetting that I'd had it before, because obviously you can't just go and buy older cars like this in the game. They're not in the sort of new car dealership, and if they ever come up in used cars, they're there for a limited time. But if you do get your hands on one of these, which you should have done over the course of your career as such in the game, then it's definitely a good base to work from, especially for what we're doing here today. We're catching Inestrosa in front, but not rapidly. One more lap to go, everybody. Let's see what we can do. Oh, cut across our rouge a bit much there. Hello. The car gripped up to the right very nicely. It's actually caught me off guard how well this car behaves, you know. It's fantastic. But as you can see, not enough to be right at the sharp end of the field. We are 56 seconds off Carrera. Oh, there's the understeer. You can see it, look, there. The wheel just goes light. It's really cool to feel that, actually. Not sure we're going to catch Inestrosa here. I'm going to push it through the final sector. Inestrosa seems to be struggling, actually. I'm not sure if the AI have got some sort of intermediates or wets on. This is one of those races, though, where you never know what you're going to get weather-wise, actually, so you've got to be really careful when you go from one running of it to the next and not guarantee yourself anything. Oh, I got a poor run there. Look at that thing go. Bye-bye. Get off the grass, Chaz. And that's the difference. We'll probably have more power in the tuned version of our car. Oh, hello. Oh my god. It won't be in the video, but that is so loud in my ears right now. Not that I'm complaining, it sounds phenomenal. Big send. I mean, I'll take 5th place, considering that that is a standard 964 from 1992. I'll take that. I'm pleased. Great base to work from, that car. Look at how untricked out it looks compared to the car we've just finished behind as well. I know the AI aren't the best in this game, and you can beat them, but you've got to have the kit to do it. We were, I think, over a minute behind in the end, 57 seconds behind Carrera. We need a serious bit of kit to beat that. Still get 31 grand for our troubles, just to demonstrate what the car is like. As you see, I've done loads of driving today. But now is the moment where I head over to the forums, and what you do is go to GTPlanet's website, you go up here to the top to forums, and then down to Gran Turismo. You can access Gran Turismo 7 straight away by clicking the sub-forums little menu here, and then Gran Turismo 7, and then into our GT7 car tuning forum. As explained last time, there's loads of great setups and great people in here. I mentioned Alex Wilmot last time round, and what I want to do today is use one of his setups. Now, interestingly enough, the car that we're using here is the 911 Carrera RS, a 964 from 1992. I've just got to click spoiler here just to open that up, and then you get your image. So, as you'll see here, this is 699.98 on the performance points. We need it at 650, not at 699. So we're going to mess with the ECU a little bit, and I believe that we'll be able to bring it down to the necessary amount of points that we need for the race. But still, this is a great thing to work from and start with. Even though we're not running this exactly as Alex has done it, it's going to still work for us, and we're going to work it all out now. So we'll go through the actual parts and we'll see what we need to go and buy, shall we? Down towards the tuning shop, and we're literally just going to go down the list. So we're going to go for racing hard tyres. They're the first thing to purchase for 18,000. Suspension is then fully customizable as well. Let's get that bought. Fully customizable LSD, the limited slip differential. That's in the semi-racing tab. ECU also needs to be fully customizable, so we'll purchase that. And as mentioned a moment ago, we then go to the racing tab again for customizable racing transmission. On top of that, you then need a racing air filter, and a racing exhaust, and a racing exhaust manifold as well, so it's going to sound awesome. Carbon brake system, brake pads racing as well, so we'll get those first, why not? Now let's go for slotted discs. That's what we did in the last tuning video, and it's got a normal handbrake, that's what's written down on there. A brake balance controller as well we need, just to muck with that, because you can change the front and rear balance on the setup itself. Steering angle kit is normal, and clutch and flywheel is also racing too. As you'll see at the top, we're up to 615.67 on the performance points, and there's a number of other things to do as well, because on the list, on the image on the right hand side here, I'll share the image and put it up on screen, you'll see that in terms of the engine tuning, there is bore up and stroke up as well. Stroke up costs 20,000. Got engine balance tuning, I can't even say the word engine properly. Polished ports as well. A high lift camshaft, I believe that's in the previous couple of sections. High lift camshaft, there it is. There is the bore up as well, which we also need to do. And high compression pistons, which needs to be purchased. There is also a racing crankshaft actually, which was just on the semi-racing tab. Racing weight reductions all done. So stage 1, stage 2. I've gotten used to using the wheel for this actually, instead of using a handheld controller separately to this. And increased body rigidity. So we've spent quite a lot of money to do this, but I think this is a great example of how to go about it. So I'm just going to check if there's anything else we need to add to this. No, this is all just going to be about actually setting the parts up now. I believe that you need to do, I think he's mentioned that you have to have a wing as well on this. Yeah, in the actual forum post, he said that it's wide body, wide wheels and offset, some aero bits. That's literally to quote him. So we go over to GT Auto to do these things, and we go to car customization. So we'll go to the wheels first. What sort of wheels should we put on it? I think some sort of BBSs would be nice to do, actually. I like Porsches with wheels like that, you know, very sort of busy BBSs with loads going on, loads of spokes. Do we get them in that sort of colour? Yeah, they look quite serious, don't they? We'll keep them at 17. We'll go standard and wide, and we'll buy those for 4,000. Go back and go to custom parts. And yeah, let's get the aero bits on, as Alex has said. Put all the side skirts on it all the way around. Oh yeah, look at that. Big diffuser. Look at the exhaust on it and all. Ooh, I like the ducktail wing. Yeah, I like the ducktail wing. That's pretty cool. We're not going to put a massive wing on it. What else was there to do? We've done the wheels, we've done the aero bit, so that's fine. We need to wide body it. Now, that isn't in that part of GT Auto. You need to come back out of that, wait for it to all apply, of course. And then you head to car maintenance and service. And that's where you can wide body your machine for 50,000. Again, one of the greatest animations in the game. You can get a preview of it as well, just so you know what it looks like. Doesn't really add too much of it, but it means, of course, that you can set the wheels to fit the proper width of the car. Now, usually it's worth doing that first, actually, because you can see the wheels don't perfectly fit the wheel arches there, so we'll go back and then change the offset of the wheels. Although, actually, would that have already been done? Oh, yeah, we already had the wide offset. Okay, that's fine. So that is that done. That's pretty much how it looks. Why is the rear wing not on it? I think it maybe removed it to do the wide body adjustment. Okay, and we back out of GT Auto and all of that, and now comes the part where we start adjusting the settings of all of these parts. This is the finicky bit, but this is where we can really get to play with the car. So it's on racing hard tyres, which is fine. We've got fully customizable suspension, 85 and 85 there, and then this is going to be 7 on the anti-roll bars on the front, 3 on the rear. Then we go to 38, which is quite high on the damping ratio, and then 23 on the front. So it's got a pretty soft rear end by the look of it. Damping ratio expansion is 48 and 46. Don't forget that while I'm doing this, I've got this image to the left-hand side so I can see it as a bit of a reference. But also, I know that we're going to have to come away from this to reduce this down again, because this is going to put it up to nearly 700 performance points, and we want it at 650. Still, I want to get the car to how Alex has got it, so we know that it's all as it's supposed to be, and then from there we can move forward. So negative camber angle is 4 on the front, then just 1.5 on the rear, so it's got the tyres nice and flat at the back. 0.2 on the toe angle at the front, and 0.10 on the rear. Differential is customizable. Initial torque is going to be 5 and then 10 and then 15, so it's not really adding in much. Braking sensitivity actually all the way down at 15, that's quite a lot. Okay, that's all done. In terms of the downforce, has it taken off the, did it take off the splitter at the front as well and I didn't realise? Oh, okay, maybe you do have to put on certain wings then, because for some reason I can't go up to 204 on the rear downforce, which is what Alex has got it on his image, and he's got 140 on the front. So we'll come back to that. The ECU we're going to leave as it was at the moment. He's put 82 kilos of ballast in it, actually, with ballast positioning -50. And a power restrictor as well. That's not something I noticed before, so again, we'll come back to that. The top speed adjustment is 180, I think we're going to have to mess with that because we're going to need way more than 180 k's in the car. Let's go to the next image and see what is next up. That's the gear ratios actually. So we need to go in and adjust those, manual adjustment. So we need 2.360. Wait, what? That's a lot. We can't even go that low, can we? 2.895 final, 2.360. It won't let me go any lower than that. Oh, that's because... okay. 1.065, 1.245. Look at the amount of adjustment this is taking. This is going to be a car with not a massive amount of top speed. Okay, that's how Alex has got them. So we're going to go with that. That has remained, hasn't it? Yep, yes it has. Then we're going to go over to the next amount of stuff. So we've got racing, carbon, handbrake normal, brake balance controller, front rear balance. It's on -3. And I just need to check the next section of it. Steering angle kit is normal. We've got all of these installed. That is all the same. So we just need to go back and sort the aerodynamics out. Let's measure it. So it's at 678.47. So we still have a bit to lose. Let's go back to GT Auto because we need to fit the front downforce again. And I think change the rear wing away from the duck spoiler, unfortunately. Yes, it's not got the downforce on the front. It's also not got the downforce on the sides either. So, yeah. Seems like wide body in it has taken those parts off. We're not going to put a massive wing on it. You need this wing on. And that's that. That looks really cool, doesn't it? Let's go back. Yeah, as you can see now, it's on 713.1 in terms of the performance. So, yeah, there's definitely some changes needed here to bring that back down. So this downforce is on 140 at the front. And it's on 204 at the rear. And then if we measure the performance, it's at 720. I forgot to get the ballast, didn't I? Bear with me. You get the ballast from the tuning shop, by the way. That's something that you can add in. It's just a ballast box so that you can mess with the car and add the balance where needs be. I can't remember. There it is. It's only 500. It's just to help the car, basically. Is there a power restrictor as well? Yes, there is. There is a power restrictor, so let's pop that on. And, you know, these things do take time, but as I said in the first iteration of this video that we did with the Evo, these guys put so much time into perfecting this just for us to come along and copy it. It's worth the time that you put in, isn't it, at the end of the day? So ballast we had on 82. That's quite a lot. And then the positioning is -50, so all the way towards the front. Power restrictor 96. Let's measure that. It's back to 700.9. So what I'm then going to do is maybe just bring the... Let's just see how much it affects it if we keep bringing the power restrictor down. What about the ECU? 692. Okay, maybe we take the ballast up a little bit more. Let's put the ballast at 100. It's down to 689. So now it's just a case of mess with the ECU and mess with the power restrictor. Bring some of that power down because we need it at 650. So apologies, Alex, for ruining your setup, but we need it at 650, mate, and not at 700. 660. I'm worried about the top speed of this thing. What do we do about this speed? Can we maybe... Okay, that remains the same. Because I just need to give it a little bit more top speed than what we've had. Let's put another 10 kilos in it. 648.77. 649.36. 649.55. I'm going to get this really close. There we go. 649.82 is what we've ended up with. And there is our Porsche. It is a wonderful looking thing. And we're now going to go and race it in the same event that we were in before. Thanks very much, Alex, for the setup, or at least the baseline of the setup. We just had to reduce it a little bit to get exactly what we needed for this event. But that's what I mean. All of those changes are going to make this car handle like a dream. It's going to be amazing fun to drive. But we've just sort of reduced the power a little bit just to bring it within that certain band. So, back to Europe. Back to Spa Francorchamps and back to the Porsche Cup. Why does it say... Oh, yeah. I didn't beat third place. Shut up, Chaz. Let's go then, shall we? Let's just hope it's not raining to begin with because we're on racing hard tyres and we've got a minute to gain on Carrera at the front. You can go to the weather radar here. And I'm not quite sure what that means. When it's like minus 30 minutes, does that mean in 30 minutes it's going to rain? Let's just go. There is weather there. Oh my goodness me, it sounds brutal. Oh god, it stops. And oh god, it handles. Oh yeah. Already, we've done one corner and I'm in love with it. Look at it! Oh, don't slam on, son. Well, bye, mate. Oh, it sounds fantastic. Oh, the gear changes as well. Heaven. Oh, that's naughty, innit? Oh, got no time to be patient here. We're just going to miss a bit of wet weather as well, by the look of it. It's very gloomy and dark, but we'll be alright. Bit of understeer there, pushed it a little bit too hard. It's easy to gain a little bit too much confidence when the car handles as well as this and stops as well as this. You still have to be very cautious about oversteer and understeer. Oh, we are flying though. Please don't turn in. Oh, look at this. Look at the grip it's got. The power as well. Don't forget we've turned the power down quite a lot. Lost nearly 20% of the power in terms of the adjustments we made on the power restrictor and on the ECU. Feels like a proper old school like GT2 race car this. Especially with the noise. Let's cut back. Yep, thank you. Okay, so in one lap we've gone up to 6th place and we're 13 seconds off the race leader. He's still getting away from us. I think that may be down to a power difference. And maybe we could have had the gear in a lot shorter. Maybe I was a bit overly worried about that. But we'll see. Here's Sugawara. Sayonara. Sugawara. Bye, mate. Look at the needle going off the clock on the revs. Oh, how cool is that? Oh my god, you can brake so late compared to before. Listen to it. Oh, sounds fantastic. I suppose you'd have to get lucky with the weather. Oh god, no. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, yeah. I got way too cocky there. It was never going to make that. Now, much like most of you, I'm just a car fan in general, so the cars in this game being so well simulated as they are really still do excite me as if they were the real thing. And the noise is just epic. But look at this thing now, it's a missile! Excuse me. Worked hard to get this Porsche. Don't drive into it, please. We're catching the leader as well, which is important. We're 8 seconds off now. We've still got multiple laps to go. Look at this, we're right with Blajan now. It gives you a very important moment to sort of bond with the car as well. Sure, I'm not the one that came up with this setup for this car, and I'm not the one that put hours and hours into perfecting how it feels. But I had my little Porsche in my garage. I hadn't touched it, but I still liked it. I've driven it, I've realised what it can do, and now we've realised its full potential with the help of somebody else external, and I get to bond with my little Porsche, and I'm not going to sell it. I won't get rid of it, because I know this car, I mean, it's just ace. Look at that, 2.3 seconds off the leader after 2 laps. Don't forget we lost to this guy by a minute previously. There's probably even more little sort of optimizations you can do compared to what I've done here. That was nearly flat through Blanchimont, by the way, because like I say, I'm probably worried about the gearing a little bit too much, but oh my god, this is a race car. This is a full-blown race car now. Listen to it. There is a difference there though, look at the power. Carrera does get away in a straight line, and that's understandable because we've knocked about 20% of the power off this thing. But what a fantastic sounding battle though, eh? Through the twisties we'll have him, for sure, but not down there. Wow, look at it go. Look at the power he's got. What a soundtrack. Sorry, I'll stop talking about how good it sounds. And there's the lead. Oh god. There nearly went the lead. Well, Alex, you've made a monster. It sounds epic. Sorry, I mentioned it again. Interesting. Weather radar is showing some blue. Little lift through Blanchimont, and it is GT3 pace through there. And GT3 cars do what, like 215s, something like that around here? 229 in a road car? Terrifying. It's going to rain. That might spoil the party a little bit. Better get a good lead then, haven't we? Because we've not got long till that hits us. And it's not just light rain either, there's quite a bit of heavy rain in the middle of it. Oh dearie me, 1 lap to go after this. One thing that hasn't caught me out yet is the brake balance, actually. It's quite a rearward brake bias, and usually I'm not great at braking, so I expect it to catch me out quite a bit, but it hasn't yet. There's drops of rain on the windscreen now. Watch that graph in the bottom left that I mentioned earlier on in the video for surface water increasing. It's going to increase very slowly with this sort of rain, and with only one lap left I don't think we'll be that bad. Might get to do some drifting, which again is something I'm not very good at. There's a reason I'm a commentator and a presenter. Whoa, hello. Okay everybody, one more lap and we are currently 5 seconds ahead of Karatsa. Okay, there's surface water now, you can see it on the little graph down there. Hopefully it doesn't increase much. Doesn't look like we're going to get a massive amount of heavy rain on this final lap. Worth remembering that we're on slicks and Karatsa behind is probably on sports hard tyres, which will dissipate the water a lot better if we hit any surface water. Short shift to third there. I'm feeling a little bit tentative, you know. Just don't want to get to a corner and it be absolutely sodden. Certainly got interesting, hasn't it? 3.3 seconds back, and he is closing. Oh, there's a bit of understeer from the water. Oh, we've actually gained a bit of time on him there, bad look of it. Careful through Puon. This is a joy, absolute joy to drive this car. I hope the car enjoys it as much as I do, because it's not reciprocating the love at the moment. We're actually opening our gap up now over Karatsa again, so I think it's got past a point where he can make it work in the wet. Come on, only a few more corners to go. Bye, way wide through Blanchimont. Nice and careful. Couple more corners to go, plenty of surface water to worry about, but we're fine. We did it! We did it! Our little Porsche's a beast. Thank you, Alex. That is awesome. Look at it. What a little wagon. Fantastic entertainment, isn't it? Great fun to drive, but like I say, it makes you bond with the car. It makes you enjoy the machine even more when you work on it and you perfect it and get it quicker and quicker. Sure, it's not your own original idea to perfect it with the setups that you've got, but you've just got to use these people that we've got in the forums. Fantastic people that put the work and the effort in. And you've seen the results for yourself. You know, we were a minute off the race leader in that first attempt, with me doing what I could do with what I knew of the car, and then coming back with it with the car fine-tuned and perfected. It was just epic. And we win the race by over 3 seconds, even with a bit of rain at the end, throwing it in while we were on racing slicks. Very, very good stuff. And of course, you reap the rewards of getting the money as well. 87.5 grand for that event, which I will very gladly take, and I'll probably get a roulette ticket as well for completing that, a 6-star one. Oh, I'll open that on video for you. But this is what these videos are all about, you know, highlighting the great people in our forums, the work they put in, and how easy it is for you guys to access setups like this and be able to do this to your cars, and it makes them so much more enjoyable to drive. I probably would have never touched this Porsche if it wasn't for this video, and I've really enjoyed it, and now I'm going to treasure that car for as long as I play this game, because it's just an awesome, awesome bit of kit. Let's open this roulette ticket, shall we, as a nice little treat at the end, and see what it gives us. Please something spicy. Oh, it's just money, or is that an M3 GT2? Please the M3. No. We'll take a few gold bars. How much is that, $500,000? Yeah, we'll take that. But still, we got that as a result of doing the driving today, of course. But, you know, I'm really pleased with that, and I hope you are too. I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's certainly been great fun to record this one. There will be more of these coming out in GTPlanet in future as well. It's great fun to be able to do this, and of course it earns me a bit of money in the game, so winner, winner. But thank you very much for watching, everybody. Really hope you've enjoyed the show, and of course, we'll see you again very soon on the GTPlanet YouTube channel. Don't forget to check out the forums. Don't forget to check out all these setups, and of course, don't forget to like and subscribe as always. Thank you very much for your support, and we'll see you very, very soon. Have a good day.